Hello and welcome back to my channel. Spring and summer are coming up. It's like spring weather right now. It doesn't look like it. It looks cloudy. I'm aware. But spring and summer are coming up, which means it's like happy romance season. So today we're gonna go over my spring and summer romance TBR. Some of these I have already started and some of these I have also already read, but I want to finish them. I want to reread them. And then there's also books that I haven't read that I also want to read. So I have 10 books here to talk about, and let's just get into it. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I haven't read an Abby Jimenez book. I started this literally like a day ago, and I'm on chapter 4 or 5. From what I understand, it's about Samantha and Xavier. It's a dual POV, and Xavier is a vet, so cute, and Samantha is a marketing manager for a mustard company. So she works from home, and they meet when she finds this kitten and she brings it into the vet and is like, hey, I just found this kitten, can you just like check her out, make sure she's okay, because I want to keep her. Xavier is kind of like a dick. Like, he's kind of rude, but he immediately likes her. He immediately finds her attractive. But basically the cat needed surgery and she goes in for a like checkup or like a follow-up checkup and asks if the cat's okay because she needs to take the cat with her when she goes on a trip. She's going to visit her family, and basically when she's there, he asks her on a date. And so they go on the date, and that's as far as they've gotten. They're on the date. And the date is literally on a sunset, like, dinner cruise. And it's a fundraiser for sheltered animals, like animals in the shelter to be adopted. So it's a fundraiser for them. So that's kind of fun, but I just want to see where it's going. It's already, like, it's really quick. They're on the date. It's literally chapter 5. So I'm hoping that it continues the fast pace, because if it doesn't, I might get bored. I've also been in the biggest reading slump. I think I finished maybe like 6 books this year, and it's April. Moving on, I've read this one before. It's People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I have 2 Emily Henry books in this pile. I'll go over the next one after, but this is just such a summer read, and I read it years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, and I want to pick it up again. I miss the characters. I just want to be in this world again, if that makes sense. It's about Poppy and Alex. They are best friends and they make a pact to go on vacation every year together, but they have a falling out. And after this falling out, they don't talk, and then they reunite. It is like past and present point of view. So you get the past of like what their vacations looked like, and the present point of view of them like reconciling their friendship and maybe becoming more. They become more. But like, you have to get to that. But anyways, I really enjoyed this book and I want to read it again so that I can enjoy it again. Emily Henry's, like, her books are so good. And if you haven't picked up an Emily Henry book and you've heard about Emily Henry, because everyone and their mother has, what are you doing? Pick up a book. The second Emily Henry book that is on my spring summer TBR is Funny Story. And this is her newest release, I believe. I got it, I think, a couple months ago, but I'm saving it. I was saving it for spring and summer because her books are spring and summer vibes and I need to read them in that time frame. It's about Daphne and Miles. Daphne was engaged and Miles was engaged, and Daphne's fiance realized he was in love with his childhood best friend Petra, who was Miles' fiance. And I guess Miles and Daphne become roommates, and then they form this kind of bond and form a plan to have a bunch of summer adventures together. It sounds really good, and it's clearly a summer read if it said that they're gonna have summer adventures together. Like, that just makes sense to me. So I'm very excited to read it. The next book I have already started on audiobook. I don't know how far I'm into it, but I think it's pretty good so far. Summer read, maybe not. Spring read, most likely. But it's also kind of depressing, which is why I want to read it in spring, because if I read it in winter, it'd make me depressed. So that is The Last Love Note by Emma Gray. It is about Kate. She's a widowed single mother. The love of her life passed away from an illness, and it's like years after. I don't know how many years. It's 2 years after. She has been working to pay the bills. She has had no love life because the love of her life passed away. So she's basically it's just her and her son and her best friend who's trying to get her out there, trying to get her to date, but she doesn't want to because she misses her man. And she ends up getting stranded on a island, I think. She gets stranded somewhere. She's on a work trip with her boss and she gets stranded somewhere because there's a storm where they're supposed to land, so they make an emergency landing and they're stuck there for a couple days. And she basically is now stuck, doesn't have a kid to take care of for a weekend, and basically just has that time to process the grief that she wasn't able to process previously because she had to bear all of the responsibilities that she had originally split between her and her husband. She didn't have the time or the space to grieve. And this is about her having the time and space to grieve and also realizing that she kind of has the hots for her boss. I mean, he seems like a great guy. I would have the hots for him too. The next book is My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. Millie Morris has always been one of the guys. I hate that already. I'm sorry. So it's about Millie and Reed, and they work together. They're professors at UC Santa Barbara, and they have to find dates. I guess their whole friend group needed to find dates for this gala, so they all agreed to go onto online dating websites to find a date. But she also ends up having like a hookup with Reed and then decides they're better off as friends. Eventually ends up striking a friendship with him, but online. He doesn't know it's her, so that sounds interesting. Also, like, it looks summery. Does that not scream summer? It kind of screams summer to me. So the next one is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I was supposed to read this last year, if you saw that video. I didn't read it. It's about Fern and Will, and they meet one day when they're young, and they make a pact to meet a year later, and he doesn't show up until 9 years later. She's running a resort, and he comes to the resort, I think. I don't know. He ends up meeting her, and maybe he offers her help. But I really did like Every Summer After, so I hope I like this one. The next book is Circe by Madeline Miller. I was supposed to read this last summer too. I didn't tell you, I don't think, but I was supposed to. And in my bookshelf tour video, I said that Greek mythology gives me summer vibes, so I want to read them in the summer. This is me putting it in video that I want to read this summer. Please hold me to it because I really enjoyed The Song of Achilles, and I'm scared because I enjoyed that one so much. I don't want to start reading this and not enjoy it the same, or like have it not live up to the hype that people gave it. So I'm really worried. I can tell you nothing about this book. Nothing. It's about Circe. And that's all I know. Yeah, but I want to read it. So the next book I started reading, but I'm only on chapter 2, and I started reading it a month ago on a whim, like a random night. I just picked it up, and that is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. I have the other 3 books in the series, and I've read all 3 of those books because they're good. It gives Hallmark, and I love Hallmark, so I want more Hallmark. But this is about a world-renowned chef and single dad archer. And then it's also about Iris, who, if you read the books, you met her in The Christmas Tree Farm. She basically can't hold a job, and he just found out that he's a dad because his kid's mom passed away. So he basically needs to go and take care of this kid, so he moves to Dream Harbor to take care of said kid. And he meets the kid and he hires a live-in nanny, I believe. Yes, he hires a live-in nanny. The live-in nanny is Iris, but I guess they form this kind of bond, this kind of friendship that turns into something more. First of all, look at the cover. I mean, minus the stickers, but like all of the covers are so cute. The sides are so cute. They line up together and look like the town. It literally looks so good on my bookshelf. Like, it looks so good. So yeah, also her books, they're just easy. They're just easy to read, and that sometimes is what you need. Sometimes it's just what you need, and that's why I love them. And also, you would think that a Hallmark book, a Hallmark-esque book, doesn't have spice. You'd be wrong. You'd be dead wrong. There's spice in this. There's like the perfect amount of spice in Lori Gilmore's books. I'm hoping that this book is just as good because I love the other ones. And I will continue buying them even if they're not good, because self-explanatory. The cover's gorgeous. The last two books I'm making a reading vlog on. I've already filmed most of the reading vlog. I'm just waiting to read these last two books. And as soon as I do finish them, you're gonna get that reading vlog. Don't you worry. But those two books are Reckless and Hopeless by Elsie Silver. So I wish I didn't have to read them. I wish I could just like absorb the material like that, you know? But I can't, so I'm gonna read them. I want to read them so badly. Literally so badly. I love cowboy romances. Elsie has literally changed my life. Literally changed my life with these. I thought Small Town was great. I thought it was perfect. And then I read Cowboy. I think cowboy romances are on the same level of hockey romances, and I am obsessed with hockey romances. So if that says anything, Reckless is about Theo Silva and Winter, who is, the first book is about Summer and Rhett, and basically Winter is Summer's sister and Theo is Rhett's protege, basically. Winter is a spicy personality. She's a single mom, she is a spicy personality, takes shit from no man, basically. And Theo is this funny, goofy guy that rides bulls. I don't know much about him. I'm gonna read it, I promise. Maybe I'll start it this week. And then the last book in the series is Hopeless. This is about Bo Eaton and Bailey Jensen. Oh. Okay, so handsome military man and a 22-year-old virgin who wants to ditch this town. Fake fiance, I guess. I don't know what else to say. This is my spring and summer romance TBR for now. For now. I know more books will come out and I want to read them. So this is, for now, what is on my shelf and what I want to read in the spring and summer. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments if you have any book recommendations, video recommendations, comments about the books, any important things that I should know going into the books. Let me know. I want to know. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more of me, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.